Talking Shirts is presented in partnership with White Oak Cottage. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Hello, welcome to episode number 126 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull KR Shirts, and today we're going to take a look at the 2017 home shirt. Now, the 2017 home shirt, to me, is one of the best sort of modern day replica match shirts that we have had. It's simple, it's effective. Some of the additional detail, which we'll talk about as we progress through the episode, for me is absolutely fantastic. Really, really do like this one. So this one here was worn throughout that 2017 season by Robbie Mulhern. Before we do start, I do just have a little bit of a shout out and a thank you to make. This shirt here was actually donated into the Hull KR Shirts collection by a fellow Robin supporter, and that man is Lee Craig. Lee, I would just like to thank you once again for donating this shirt into the collection. Obviously, I had the pleasure of meeting you, and I was able to shake your hand and thank you personally. But I just thought it would be nice, with me covering the shirt that you donated, for me just to give you a nice little shout out at the start of this video as well. So thank you very much, mate. All the very best. So yeah, let's crack on with the episode. So the 2017 home shirt, all white shirt, big broad red band going through the middle with red design element detailing to it. This shirt should never have really been. It was meant to be an all red shirt for the 2017 season, but the passing of Roger Mulhern in 2016 did lead the club to change their plans and to deliver a tribute shirt to Roger for the 2017 season. There's quite a lot of sort of design elements here at play that are a tribute to Roger. We did have in the colour of the replicas, it said Roger Mulhern MBE. What you will find is that the player specification versions actually had that on the inside of the front, which you might just be able to make out. I will pop some pictures up for you. So when a player was pulling on that shirt, if they had their eyes open, one of the last things they'd have seen as it was coming past was Roger Mulhern MBE, which I think was a really sort of clever way of sort of marking a tribute there to Roger. And the replicas on the back also had the number 6. We'll talk a little bit about that because obviously that is quite relevant. We'll talk about that in part 2. So yeah, that is the kind of general gist of the 2017 home shirt. All of the sponsors on here, they feature in what would be their natural colourway. So we've got the IRS logo up on the top shoulder here. We've got Hull Angling Centre.co.uk, and then we've got the University of Hull as a sponsor that features quite largely within that big red band. We've got the X-Blades branding, that appears in a navy colour, and then we have also got the Hull Kingston Rovers club crest, which features in its natural colourway. So yeah, the fabric that's being used here, it's got the pinholed fabric in, and for breathability it's really, really good. This one features it across the entirety of the front and the back and the sleeves. It's just the side panels that don't feature that fabric. In sort of modern day terms, talking like 2017 isn't modern, but now with Oxen, that pinhole fabric generally is just on the front and the back and not on the sleeves. The sleeves are much more sort of elastic, or elastane should I say. Whereas in this one it does feature sort of entirely across the shirt apart from the side panels there. Talking about those side panels, let's have a natter, shall we? So yeah, on the sleeves here we have got the Bright branding, and then we have got Paintwork Express. Again, everything on here has been dye sublimated in. A lot of that is probably to do with the fact that it was made quite late, with it being the tribute shirt to Roger. They were able to do that because plans had changed. And we do have some slight red design elements here, which it's kind of split really into kind of curves around the sleeve and then back around again. And then we have got these elastane cuffs, which just finish that off nicely. And then under here, we've got those elastane side panels that I was talking to you about. But where the red band is and it splits, it does actually turn into the crowns, which is something that I absolutely loved at the time, and I love it even more now, mostly because obviously we know that we've changed the club crest. So I can look back quite fondly on this shirt, and it's one that I like to wear as well, where you can kind of see that we've got the 3 crowns going on underneath the sleeve there, which is just sort of formulates the break for the band, because you can't put a red band on red elastane. I suppose that bit could have been white and that bit could have been red, but for me, I really like the way that they did this. Thought that was quite unique, something that we hadn't seen before that. Obviously now we are quite used to seeing sort of sleeve detailing or elements of sort of the Robin icon being used in various different ways, shapes or form. In 2023 we had it going down the sort of the inner arm here. 2024 we had the all over sleeve icon detailing, obviously this in 2017. So for me it's nice that we're able to kind of incorporate elements of our brand within the design elements of it as well. On this sleeve here we've got Heta. Their branding featured on shirts for quite a few years, sort of during this era. And then also they've got the Kingston Press Championship competition logo. Again, this was dye sublimated in on this shirt because again we knew that we would be playing in the championship when these shirts was produced, after one of the craziest relegations you'll probably ever see. Thankfully, you know, all these many years later, the club has reacted very well to that, and kind of put a lot of that to bed. But yet, it's still something that will live long in my memory, probably for both good and bad reasons. But yeah, what an absolutely crazy end of season 2016 was. So what we're going to do now is just going to have a quick break and a quick word from our sponsor. And when we come back, we'll talk our way around the back of the shirt and talk a little bit about Robbie Mulhern.
White Oak Cottage is a 2-bedroom luxury holiday cottage set in the stunning Lincolnshire Wolds. It has 2 ensuite bedrooms, a hot tub, wood burner, Wi-Fi, electric vehicle charger, and is pet friendly. It is ideally situated in the Wolds, yet only 15 miles from the coast and 25 miles from the historic city of Lincoln. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Welcome back to episode number 126 of Talking Shirts. Before the break, we was talking our way around the 2017 home shirt, and here we are now with the reverse. So as you can see, the red band that was quite prominently around the front, it does break for the name and the number on the back of the shirt. It's something that we have spoken, you know, a lot about during episodes of Talking Shirts, just to not necessarily obstruct the name or the number on the back of the shirt. That is a league requirement by the Super League and by obviously the Championship on this occasion. We have also got the East Yorkshire Shutters logo, Aspire Academy and Joinery Depot. All of those are in their natural colourways. Obviously, you know, we've done a lot of work with sponsors. These days it is a little bit more sort of monotone in the way that they are all uniform, but on this occasion they do all appear in their natural colourways. At the bottom of here, never forget the people who love you, the supporters. Absolutely wonderful. Another quote there by Roger Millward, which did feature, you know, on the back of these replica and obviously these plain shirts as well. As I mentioned on the replica shirts did all feature the number 6 on the back. I'll pop a picture of that up for you, so you can see what that looked like. Obviously, the number 6 shirt was retired. It has been brought out of retirement now for Mikey Lewis. He's running around at Craven Park wearing that number 6 on his back, and you can see, you know, the smile on his face that he's got while he does it. You know, he's absolutely over the moon to be able to sort of wear that number and represent not only the club but Roger, as he wears that number 6 very, very proudly. I did a couple of article pieces on it on hulkarshirts.co.uk. They're in the archive, so feel free to check those out. There's an article based around the reinstating of the number 6 shirt. But then I also did a separate article about Roger Millward and his career in numbers and how many games he actually played in the number 6 versus how many games he played in other numbers, along with the stats of his career as well, how many appearances, how many tries and that kind of thing. If you're interested in that kind of thing, take a look, because, you know, I spent quite a bit of time doing that, and a shout out to Brian and Jonathan for providing me with some of the statistics, which did save me one hell of a lot of time when it came to preparing that article. But yeah, you know, feel free to check that out in the Hull KR Shirts archives. So yeah, as you can see here, we've got Mulhern and 21. That has been heat applied to the back of the shirt. The numbers actually have a white sort of outline going around them, but the name doesn't. The name just features in sort of big bold block black letters. This one here must have been worn and washed quite a lot, because this has faded so much. I've not actually been able to photo match it, mostly because I've not tried. And the reason why I haven't tried is because 2017 is a really difficult year for photography with us being in the Championship. We didn't get all the generalised Super League photographers that rock up to games showing up. So Tony Foster, if you're watching, you're probably going to get an email off me soon asking some questions about this. but you may have already had it because obviously I film in advance. So yeah, that'll be quite funny for you there. So yeah, as I've said, this is in quite a sort of a deep black colour, which as I said, it has faded as well. Yeah. So here we are missing a little bit of this M, which if that happened in game or happened partway through the season, that should be a really, really good telltale sign for me to be able to match it up. Contact points for me are what I look at when it comes to matching shirts up. How this Aspire Academy logo lines up with the name will be key. How high the number up will be key. There's a lot of things, with these pinhole shirts. If you can get a really high quality photograph, you can actually zoom in far enough and you can count the pinholes. That is another really good way of being able to kind of determine whether a shirt is from a known game or not. Just let a few little me trade secrets out there. I have already done a little video, by the way, so feel free to check that out, where I talk about photo matching. You'll also find that in the Hulk AR Shirts archives on social media as well, and on YouTube. So yeah, have a little gander at that if you're quite interested in the photo matching elements of shirt photography and shirt matching in terms of known games. Really interesting, or really boring if you're not interested in it. But if you're watching these episodes, you probably have some element of interest in it anyway. So yeah, feel free to check that one out. Robbie Mulhern, he made 110 appearances for the club. He's got 11 tries during that time. 2017 was quite a strong year for Robbie. He did make 27 appearances during that 2017 season. He was with the Robins for 5 years. He made his debut in 2016, and his last game for the club was in 2020 in a behind closed doors game. When he left the club, he did actually move to Warrington as part of a trade deal where Hulk AR got Lewis Johnson, and he stayed at the Warrington club for 2 years. After that, he moved to Lee Centurions, now known as the Lee Leopards, where he's still there now to this day in his third season in 2025. Little bit of a connection with Robbie Mulhern and Hulk AR Shirts, our sponsor, White Oak Cottage. Andrea Bruce, she did actually sponsor Robbie during the 2019 and the 2020 seasons as well. So a nice little tie in there. So yeah, all told, Robbie, he was a cracking player. I thought that we saw quite a good level of sort of work out of him. As a prop, he was really making his name. When it kind of all came to an end, really, there was some speculation about some lifestyle changes that Robbie had made, and that may be impacting his performances. But you look at him now, and he's almost playing 80 minutes games for Lee in the Super League, and you just think, maybe he was one that got away just a little bit too early. But maybe he needed to leave to blossom and to develop into the player that he has. So, either way, really proud to be able to say that this man played for our club, racking up over 100 appearances, which in the modern era, is no mean feat. Not many players will reach 100 appearances for any given club, and this man did in 5 seasons for Hulk AR. So yeah, thank you very much for your service, Robbie. It's something that we really appreciate. Obviously, as the saying goes, once a Robin, always a Robin, and it is most certainly relevant to this man here. So yeah, that's been your talk and tour around Robbie Mulhern's 2017 home shirt. One that I must say I absolutely love. I've kind of gone on record to say that I quite like us playing in red, and I really do like the red shirt with a blue band. That's just one of my preferences. However, if we're talking modern day remakes of this shirt, when you're comparing it to 2016, when you're comparing it to 2020, it's up there. There's maybe only 2024 that would battle with this in the last maybe 15, 20 years for me, being a white shirt with a red band. Those two 100% are top 2. So yeah, that's everything for episode number 126 of Talking Shirts. Check back in another couple of weeks where I'll be back with a brand new episode of Talking Shirts. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.